Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Jaguars great Fred Taylor will break down today's game with highlights and analysis. Jaguars Postgame is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC, starts right now.
Welcome in. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. No Fred Taylor this afternoon. Final score, Jets 26, Jaguars 21. Had the ball in their hands last drive inside the 5-yard line and just ran out of juice.
Yeah, it's odd, JP. First, you can question, did they need to spike the ball? Could they have had a play where, it's just kind of a look at me with Laquan Treadwell one-on-one out to the left side, and maybe you just throw a fade, and it works the same as spiking the ball. You had plenty of time to throw that. How do you not get lined up properly? Why all the confusion? You spike the ball, you've got the full play clock. You're not in scramble mode.
Right.
You get one play. What's our best play from the 1-yard line? Quarterback sneak, or is it something else? Whatever it is, okay, call it, execute it. And they didn't execute it and had the penalty, and that's that.
They got down the field to get in that position, though.
Not good enough, though, right? I mean, we have to be careful about just saying it's better than it's been, because that in itself is just not good enough, right? Again, Trevor Lawrence, no touchdown passes today,
Right. So one in the last 8 games now.
But I did like the drive. The drive was good. You're playing without your best offensive player here in James Robinson. I thought they did a great job getting down the field and getting themselves into position. But, all game long, there are plenty of mistakes. We pointed to a lot of them in the first half on the halftime show. And, this is one I think the Jags are going to be saying, man, we're not for this play or that play or the other play or the next one. And, you look at the 1-2 down by the goal line that Marvin Jones caught that set up that 3rd and 1. That was pick 6 all the way.
Yes, it was.
I mean, how did that get through C.J. Mosley to begin with? So very fortunate there, and then it ends on a much more negative feeling. It's bad enough. I mean, how do you let Zach Wilson run for 89 yards on you?
Yeah. As a team, the Jaguars defense gave up 273 yards on the ground today, tied for the 4th most allowed in franchise history in a single game.
Well, obviously, I mean, the Jets are one of the better running. Oh, wait a minute. No, they're not.
No.
No, they're not. I mean, that happens when you give up 3 rushes for 89 yards to a quarterback who doesn't run, who typically does not run, including that 52-yard play where, I get what Rudy Ford was trying to do, not take the 15-yard penalty, and we would have killed him if he got a 15-yard penalty there, right? But Zach Wilson is still in bounds. You got to hit him. You got to make sure that he cannot continue down the field. And then 3 other guys had a chance to tackle him, and that one, the kickoff return, I mean, you name it. Big play after big play allowed. Kickoff returns all day long.
It wasn't just that one,
right.
103 yards. There were some other ones, yeah.
All right, but that was untouched. I mean, that was just, man. I mean, and like you said, Michael Carter got it going on the ground here. You look at what the Jets, I mean, the Jags are depleted as well. The Jets start the year with Corey Davis as their number 1. Elijah Moore is their 2nd-round pick who, is expected to do big things. Jameson Crowder among their top 3 receivers. They're all gone. Braxton Berrios is out there. He's a nice player. But, again, it really wasn't about the passing game. I mean, Zach Wilson threw for barely 100 yards in this game. This was all about the Jets getting it done on the ground in a variety of ways, and special teams allowing big return after big return. So, that's where we're at.
Jaguars had a fake punt today. The Jets had a fake field goal try that fell short. And, boy, Ron Middleton just wanted to go for it a lot, it felt like, in this game today. And it paid off on a tackle touchdown reception at one point. But, if he kicks those field goals earlier, they make those, then it's a 2-score game earlier.
Honestly, it felt like for a little while, and I'm sure Middleton wanted to be super aggressive. This is his opportunity. And, players love it when you do that kind of thing. But it felt like the Jets were like, hey, we're showing you we can drive the ball down the field whenever we want, and we're just going to get screwy down here because we want to stay and play for the number 1 overall pick. Honestly, that's what it felt like to me at times. I don't think that's what was happening, but you watch that game, and it's like, what the decision-making process when they got down there as many times as they did it. I mean, look, I guess give him credit for sticking with the game plan. And who knows what would happen? I mean, if he had decided to go for it on that last one, right? I mean, the Jags could have easily given themselves, as much as they drove the ball down the field, they would have gotten a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. Instead, that's presuming they would have been able to get the snap off without some kind of penalty there at the end.
We are awaiting the first word with interim head coach Daryl Bevell in New York after a Jaguars loss 26-21 to the New York Jets. We will take our first time out. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Headquartered right here in Jacksonville, CSI Companies is one of the fastest growing workforce solutions companies in the nation. As a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI has the resources necessary to scale with any enterprise, yet they are small enough to maintain the agility, personal service, and remarkable experience they've become known for over the past 3 decades. This is your workforce and your business reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com to learn more.
This season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for football watching. Just look for 20-ounce Pepsi products in the cooler door at your local Gate convenience store and see how you could win an exclusive VIP experience at the Jacksonville Zoo and an opportunity to eat lunch with a Jaguars player. Eat with a big cat. Courtesy of Pepsi and Gate. No purchase necessary. Visit jaguars.com/zoo for official rules and details. Ends 12/31/21.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey, no Fred Taylor today. Final score 26-21. Jets over the Jaguars. The Jags have now dropped 16 consecutive road games. They've dropped 7 in a row overall for a 2-13 record here in the 2021 campaign.
You know, and right now you look at the teams they have coming up now. New England lost again today to Buffalo, but New England obviously has been very tough this year. Got another matchup with the rookie quarterback. And then the Colts are one of the hottest teams in the National Football League right now, no matter where that game is played, and obviously to be here in Jacksonville, but they just went into Arizona shorthanded. Their offensive line almost didn't exist last night, and they were able to have Jonathan Taylor go for over 100 yards and win that game. So, you know, you could be carrying another incredibly long losing streak into the offseason right now, JP. You're 2 games away from having that be a reality. Today was clearly, on paper, the best opportunity. Of course, on paper doesn't always mean everything. The team that Jacksonville struggled with last week, Houston, went out and smacked the L.A. Chargers today in the most inexplicable result of the weekend so far. So things can still happen, but the likelihood is that the Jags will cement the number 1 pick in the draft over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, they lost today to a team that had, 16 guys down on the COVID list?
I mean, how many apparently that number means nothing because last week you had 6 starters for the Texans on COVID, another one just out due to injury, and, you know, they had gone to Davis Mills, the rookie quarterback. So, you know, go figure, you know. I mean, and then, again, today, how do you let the Jets have one of the top 5 rushing performances against this Jaguar team in franchise history?
Yeah, tied for the 4th.
It's not incredible. Like they've been doing this. I mean, Michael Carter is a good player, but Zach Wilson, I mean, I get it if he's Mike Vick. You know what I mean? But he's like, you look at the stride, it was like he was, go old school, hop along Cassidy there, man. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. And how they let him go 52 yards. I mean, they should show that play over and over. That, to me, might be the most inexplicable play of the season.
It'll be
team.
all over his highlight reels for a little while. Just like the Mariota one a few years ago. That was
sure.
Actually, that run today was the longest quarterback touchdown run in the NFL since 2015.
Is that right?
When Mariota ran for 87 on the Jags.
Yikes.
How about that?
It's just inexplicable.
Hard to believe.
Mariota, that's his rep. Zach Wilson, not at all.
Right.
I mean, it's just that can't explain it. Cannot explain it.
Well, one of those days today. 273 rushing yards allowed by the Jaguars defense. The Jags offense goes for 384 this afternoon. They get down the field on that last drive, but they fall short inside the 5-yard line and cannot get it done today. 26-21, the final score. We're awaiting the first word after the game with interim head coach Daryl Bevell from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Jags are now 2-13. The Jets improved to a record of 4-11. The Jags, as we said, have dropped 7 consecutive games and just trying to get something positive going. I think overall today, now I'm being very careful by saying this, but overall today there was a better feeling on offense. They were moving the ball a little bit more consistently. 12-play drive, 11-play drive to open the game. First time they've scored on 3 opening possessions in a row since the last week of the 2019 season. They had that movement in the second half as well and just could not finish it out today. And, hey, it's the guys are talking about.
Start with straight with questions. We'll start with Mike Duraco, and then we'll go to Gene Fournette.
Hey, Daryl, can you just kind of go over the last 2 plays there, the spike on third down with some time left, and then just the inability to get the play call in and everybody scrambling around on fourth down?
Yeah. So at the end, we ended up having that play where the ball, I think, almost got tipped, and then Marvin ended up catching it on the 1, and we ended up spiking it, to get the clock stopped there on third down, so that to be able to try to get us into the best play, and then we just didn't do a good job of communicating, getting lined up on the last play. It should have given us plenty of time, but we didn't execute it very well there.
And then the run call earlier, I guess in that drive, no timeouts. The reasoning for that call.
Yeah, we're fine on the clock right there, and there's times where you feel like you can pop a run, and and if you pop that run right there, you end up getting a pretty good play out of it. It didn't happen, so we ended up moving on.
Was this the best that Trevor has looked since maybe the win over Miami?
Yeah, I was really proud of him. I was really proud of him today. I thought he did a really good job of managing the game. He took he took the check downs that were there. He took the shots that were there. That's probably the thing that impressed me the most was the shot opportunities that he had that he took those. And, whether it's the one early in the game down to Treadwell, they got a pass interference, even late, the ball that he threw to Tavon there on the right side, their sideline in that 2-minute drill, did a really good job of taking that. So, I like the throws he was taking. And then when they covered it deep, he took the check downs and got a lot of completions. I don't know what he ended up, but I like the way he played today.
Thank you.
Thanks, D-Rock. We'll go to Gene Fournette and then Mia O'Brien.
Hey, Daryl, could you just talk, did you guys go into today's game with a more conscious, aggressive mindset? And if so, how much of that was, I don't know, maybe a function of Brian being able to call the plays and take a little bit of load off your plate?
Yeah, I mean, definitely was going in to play this game to win. And, we were able to make some aggressive calls. I thought Shadi did an outstanding job for us today. It did give us a boost. I think we scored on the first, 3 drives. The thing that I point to is our execution was on point. And I thought the guys did a really good job executing the plan. And Trevor was really the key factor in that with the plays that were there. He hit them and he took the shots when he had to, and he took the checkdowns when he had to.
Could you talk a little bit about the fake punt? Was that your call or somebody else's?
Yeah, that was we ended up taking the ball as you know, we won the toss, but we took the ball, just wanted to change it up and, wanted to play from ahead for once. So by taking that, just wanted to be aggressive. We got a really good opportunity to do it. So, I green lighted that with Nick early and, it just played out that way that we ended up in that situation. So, it was a great job of executing there, and it did lead to points for us to get out in an early lead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gene. We'll go to Mia O'Brien and then Cole Pepper.
Hey, Bev, on the defensive side of things, I believe it was 252 yards or something like that for them on the ground running. What was it that they did that a defense that was able to shut down some pretty potent running attacks like Jonathan Taylor and the Colts earlier this year struggled out here today?
Yeah, we didn't do a good job, I don't think, of really staying in our gaps and filling the gaps where we needed to. That one of the runs, particularly late there, was an explosive play. You also we let Zach Wilson out early in the game for that long touchdown. I know that adds to the yards. Had opportunities to make tackles there on the sideline, and we didn't do that. When teams are running the ball, it's a function of everybody, and you got to do a great job of playing gap integrity defense.
And then in terms of some of the younger guys that saw action, Andre Cisco making his first career start today. I know he wants that interception back. I know you guys all do. Your decision to challenge that, and also what you thought of his play on the field. What went into both of those?
Yeah, we got a quick look at that, upstairs, and thought his hand was under it. Then once we had thrown the flag, we got better. We got a couple better looks at it, and they slowed it down, so you could see that it did roll out of his hand. But I was actually right behind the play, so I couldn't see it from the other side. So we took a chance on it. Thought it was a solid replay opportunity. And again, it would have got us, some momentum. Just early, I thought Cisco did a good job. We want to make sure before I make too many comments, to go back and look at the tape and be able to give you a better assessment.
Thank you, Mia. We'll go to Cole Pepper and then Gary Smits.
All right, hey, Daryl. I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to James Robinson at all since the injury, just what the conversation has been like there, and after he went out, what you thought of Agumba Wale's play.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for us that we lose a player of James's caliber, and he's such a rock for us on really on our team as well as the offense. And when one of your bell cows like that goes down, it's a tough blow. I thought Dare came in and did a good job. Again, I'll have to wait to see all the tape once we evaluate that, but. Just from the sideline, I thought he was solid with the ball, number one, which is really important for us, protecting that. And then the runs that were there, it looked like he was hitting the holes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cole. We'll go to Gary Smits, and then we'll finish up with John Reed.
Daryl, I understand that, with the injuries and the COVID protocols, it looked like the kickoff return team was a little bit vastly different from last week. Couple guys out, you had to shift some guys into different positions. And I'm not trying to get you to, make any excuses, but, with the issues on coverage, can it be just as difficult to kind of, on the fly reshuffle special teams as well as offense and defense?
Well, yeah, anytime guys go down, it's a next man up mentality, and there are no excuses. We have to do a better job in coverage. We gave up one last week. We gave up one this week, and that, ends up being a difference in the game. And, whoever we put out there, it's those guys' responsibility to be able to go out and make plays. And we'll continue to look at it, but we didn't even, the guy didn't even break stride. As he ran through our kickoff team. So we got to do a better job of filling our lanes. Backside got to do a better job of closing. But we'll go back, we'll look at it, we'll evaluate it, and continue to work on it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. We'll go to John Reed, and then we'll finish up with Mike Duraco. And I think we got Shaq Wade, so if we could just do no follow-ups for you.
No problem. And Coach, just it looked like Austin was, looked like a lot of the play designs was similar plays that you usually go with LaVisca. How difficult was it for you just to, bob and weave and add, I guess you had to design different plays for different players because you lost those players because of COVID. But what did you think about his play today?
Yeah, I thought Tavon did a really nice job for us, filling in for LaVisca. And, late in the week, that thing happened. So, there's not a lot of maneuvering that you do. You just, we kind of plug and play the guys and, make sure that the plays that we're asking Tavon to do that he can handle. If we need to make a change, then we can make a change. But Tavon stepped up big time. Thought he made some big plays, made some big catches, and that's the next man up mentality, and he was there for us.
Thank you.
Thanks, John, and we'll finish up with D-Rock.
I just want to confirm it's a torn Achilles for James Robinson.
Yeah, that's the report that I got.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
It's a little too early to tell. Final score 26-21, Jets over the Jaguars in week number 16. The Jets run for 273 yards in the game, tied for the fourth most allowed in Jaguars history. The Jaguars get 384 total yards in the game. They had the ball in their hand but fell a yard short in the 2-minute drive and were unable to finish the job today. That little sequence right before the end of the game also a little frustrating, obviously. Ran the ball without any timeouts at the 35-yard line, the third down spike, and then couldn't get lined up on fourth down, unfortunately. So there you have it, and they couldn't get the touchdown.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to do there at the 35, maybe pop one. Right? They still had enough time that it wasn't, like, critical because they got in position to score, right, and still had plenty of time to do it had they executed better.
We are awaiting interim head coach Daryl Bevell from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Daryl, it's JP Shadrick with you. Frustrating ending, had the ball in the hands. Take us through that final 2-minute drill. And, you know, there was the run without any timeouts, the third down spike, the fourth down play. What happened?
Yeah, you know, I thought the defense did a good job, you know, right before that 2-minute drive to give us an opportunity to go down and have a chance to win the game. And then I thought our offense did a really nice job on that drive. You know, we moved the ball down there quickly. You know, the thought on the run there in that 2-minute is, you know, we were ahead of the clock, so an opportunity to stick a run in there, and a lot of times those pop. It didn't, you know, so it didn't end up hurting us. We were able to move it down. We knew once we got inside the 5 that we were going to have, you know, we had plenty of clock. We were going to get all downs that we needed. So I thought we were orchestrating that well. On the second down play, you know, the ball got tipped. There was a minute of, you know, is it incomplete? Is it caught? We didn't know. It ended up being caught on the 1, and then you know, we ended up killing it on the third down play from the 1, and you know, we took the last play, and we ended up, you know, not executing very well there. You know, we called the play. It had a motion on it, and we didn't get lined up initially. You could see that the guys didn't you know, line up the way we were supposed to, and then so when the motion started, we already had guys, two guys in motion. Daryl
Bevell with us. Lost James Robinson today. Obviously, he means a lot to this football team and this offense, and that's one you just hate to see in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a big blow to us. You know, he's, like I said, he's our bell cow, and he's you know, he's the guy that, you know, really is the rock for us on offense. So to lose a guy like that is always tough. I thought Dare came in and did a good job from the, you know, preliminaries that I could see, and but, you know, it's always tough to lose a guy like James.
265 yards rushing for the Jets today. Zach Wilson had 91 of those in the game. That's one of the things we talked about coming in, his mobility, ability to get outside of the pocket, and it paid off for the Jets today.
Yeah, we didn't contain him very well, you know, particularly on the long touchdown run. I think we had opportunities to get him out, to get him down, and we did not. And then, you know, we struggled with standing our gaps a little bit today. And, you know, they popped some big runs, even late. You know, they got that one down there, but they tightened up from there. But, you know, you hate to give up those yards, you know, and you know, we got to be better.
Final one for you, Daryl. Special teams today again. Kickoff return, touchdown, a couple of other lengthy returns for the Jets. How can he clean this up with 2 to go?
Yeah, you know, we're struggling with the kick. You know, we'd like to be able to boom those away and, you know, not give them opportunities to return them. They did get opportunities. You know, the touchdown run. I mean, the guy didn't even break stride. You know, he runs right through the middle of our kickoff team, and we got to be better. We got to cross face. We got to close from the backside, and you know, just give ourselves a chance to get that guy down. And you know, we had different guys in at different spots, but you know, it's always a next man up mentality, and we got to be better.
Daryl, thanks for the time. Safe travels. We'll talk to you.
All right, JP, thank you.
Daryl Bevell, interim head coach, joining us from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Yes, Mike.
There's a low bar, but I mean, honestly, I'm listening to that, and I'm like, how refreshing is it to have a head coach who actually knows what the heck was going on during this football game and is able to, like, recall everything. This guy was doing this, and this happened on this play, and this happened on this play. I mean, that's been missing most of the season, quite frankly. And again, low bar, but that really stood out to me in that moment.
Jaguars Postgame is presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're back with the highlights from today's game. Final score, Jets 26, Jaguars 21, and this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Hey Jaguars fans, tired of being late to the game because you're still stuck in traffic or circling the block looking for a place to park? Next time, join thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smart way to get to the stadium is on the JTA Game Day Express. Express shuttles run from 5 convenient locations, including the newest location at FSCJ downtown. Tickets start at just $8 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
The Dick's Wings and Grill family of restaurants is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They invite you to stop into one of their area neighborhood grills where you can count on fresh quality wings where you call the flavor. At Dick's Wings and Grill, their menu has a food and flavor for everyone in your group. If you prefer delivery or online ordering, just visit dickswingsandgrill.com. Every Dick's Wings and Grill.
First and goal.
We'll just get started with questions. We'll start with Gary Smits, and then we'll go to Mia O'Brien. Gary, I believe you're still on mute, Gary.
I'm on mute.
We'll get started with Mia O'Brien, and Gary, then we'll come right back to you.
Hey, Shaq, if you could just kind of walk us through what the Jets did on the ground game that really just allowed them to rush for over 200 yards today.
I feel like they stayed disciplined. I feel like we kind of let some players get away from us in that run game. Little gap schemes here and there. I feel like that's just some things we got to clean up. You know, I was telling the coaches, telling the players, I feel like it never should be more than one person in one gap. You know, that's the part that we got to clean up. We got to be disciplined on that part. And we didn't make that happen fast enough. But that's the part that we got to get better at. You know, some plays we lost contain, but that's part of the run game. You understand, you know, what he did on the ground. You know, extending plays, scrambling, and that's huge in the run game as well. That's the same thing. So it's little things like that, gap scheme, losing time. We just got to do better, clean things up, and we will. We definitely will. So we'll clean that part up.
You guys have been in, need a touchdown to win, 2-minute drive, end of the game scenarios. I know obviously you're on the sideline during that situation. What was the emotions, the vibes on the sideline this week as opposed to maybe that Colts game or other ones you guys have had this season?
I can honestly say this game has been different than every last one of them, honestly. I remember talking to the team after, and I was telling them on the sideline, being there and watching Trevor and the whole offense drive down that field, I'm just looking around at everybody's faces, that faith, that belief, that hope that, dang, we really can do this. That's the part that I felt like was missing for so long. Going to the game, knowing that we can really win this, knowing that this W can come to us, and I seen that on everybody's face. They believe in that, and I can play with a team like that any day. Any person who got that type of fight, that type of belief, knowing that we can make this happen, that's the team we have to be. And that was my message, to the team after. I'm going through the same pain you guys going through. I'm here with you. But understand that belief that you had, y'all got to have that in the beginning. From the beginning to the end, we need that. Understand, we can be the team we want to be. The way that offense drove down the field, you can be that offense every time. The way the defense stopped that team, that third down, right in the red zone, let's make that stop earlier. We can beat that defense. We can go up the field a little early. We still made a hell of a stop. Let's do it earlier. Special teams, they don't have to take for one to go away behind us to kind of tighten up and do better. Start early. So it was definitely different every other game. So man, it was great. It was great to see.
Thank you, Mia. We'll go to Cole Pepper and then Mike Duraco.
Shaq, you're talking about that it felt different. Why did it feel different? What led to that confidence or that feeling that you could have had this one?
Seeing the way the plays was working out for us. Let's go with the offense first. The way they were moving the ball, they switched things up. They looked comfortable. They felt comfortable. You can see everything starting to click on every level. And when it comes to the defense, it's just claims that we got to clean up a little earlier. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we played bad defense at all, but it's our plays that we did let get away from us. Understand, we're a defense that we refuse. We got to stop the run first. We got to get back to that. Holding a minimum pass yards, stop the run. We got to be the defense. So we can be that. We will be that defense. But the reason why it felt different because everybody felt that we was unstoppable. And that's the feeling you got to have going into the game from the beginning to the end.
Did you have that feeling before the game started? Was it something you saw or felt in practice, or was it something that sort of developed as the game got going?
No, I seen it through the whole week. The way the offense attacked the practice field, the way the defense, the way we was competing. Like there's so many clips of just in special teams where they had me out there trying to compete with guys. It was just different. Everybody wanted a piece of it. And that's the defense. That's the team we got to be. We have to be that. Being able to compete anywhere, anytime, any place, and being ready. You got to have that confidence playing this game. This is not a little kid's game. You got to have that type of confidence. And it showed. It showed today. And I feel like this team is going to go into a different direction, in a great direction. And I love seeing it because that was a different team today. And now, don't get me wrong, it is things that we let get away from us that we have to clean up, and we will. But I promise you, it's going to be a different team. It will be.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cole. We'll go to Mike Duraco and finish up with Demetrius Harvey.
Did you guys have a feel that fake field goal was coming?
I'm not sure. I wasn't out there. So I wasn't sure. But one thing about it, every time we go and get a chance to work on it in practice, we go over a fake. We'll make sure we're ready for any possible situation and prepare for it. And Tyson made a hell of a play that we needed. And that was huge because we had, I think, maybe two big fourth down stops that we needed. And that was huge. We just got to continue. So we try to prepare for everything. We're not sure what could happen, but we try to prepare for everything as much as possible.
I know you've talked about it before, but I think 2 or 3 dropped interceptions today on defense. I mean, how do you keep those from happening? And if you get those, does that turn that game around completely for you?
Well, I guess I got to start catching with me because, I don't drop the couple. So it's kind of hard for me to be like, hey, don't drop that pass. I'll drop some. So I'm definitely going to have some little trash talk here and there because I'm not the only one dropping interceptions. But I was hoping maybe it tip up and I kind of get my chance to redeem myself, but I didn't get that chance again. So hopefully next game, but it's all right. I have them guys catching the ball with me with the jug machine at the practice as well.
Thank you.
And we'll finish up with Demetrius.
Hey, Shaq, you talked about that confidence on the field today and just how everything felt different. Did you get that same vibe? I understand it's a loss, but just in the locker room right after the game, do you get the vibe that this can carry forward and it actually will have some positive momentum into the last 2 games and then, next season?
Oh, most definitely. I feel like that. Even though we lost, I definitely feel like the momentum is definitely going in the right direction. Going into the next 2 games, going into the off season, and that's what we needed. Understand it's been a long season. No one wants to go through that. So many losses. It's tough. It's painful, but we all going through it. It's not just one person. It's everybody. But I want everybody to continue to believe in something. Understand that game is different. If you felt it, if anybody else believed in it, you got to keep that. Hang on to it because this team, this organization is going to flip around. It's going to flip around. And I felt that today. So we're going to go back to the drawing board, figure out. We got 48 hours to kind of get in and out and go and figure out what we did wrong, fix it. And we got to move forward. But like I said, we're going in the right direction. I love that. I need everybody to believe in that. I need everybody to see that. Because some people might feel it, may not say nothing. I'll be that voice. Whatever you felt, keep that feeling. It's the right one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Demetrius, and thank you, Shaq. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
Scoring a touchdown on your own? Nearly impossible. But with the power of human connections, the world might as well be your end zone. At Ring Central, our winning lineup is simple: message, video, and phone, all together on a platform built to run and grow your business. Because when everyone can communicate and collaborate, it's not just magic, it's a winning strategy. Discover what we could do for your team. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central, message, video, phone, together.
Gotcha.
Perfect. Well, we'll go straight to questions. We'll start with Mia O'Brien, and then we'll go to Gary Smits.
Hey, Trev, just talking to Shaq just now, he really said he felt this one was different. Obviously, the result similar to that Colts game, similar to a couple of the other comeback opportunities where you guys had a chance to come back late. What did it feel like to you compared to those previous opportunities to have a 2-minute offense to win it at the end?
I mean, I really feel like every opportunity we've had to come back and win the game on a 2-minute drive or whatever it is, I always feel like we've had that confidence on offense. What was different about this one is just so close. Get down there on the 2-yard. I mean, we're 2 yards away, and obviously didn't execute cleanly there at the end. A lot of stuff to learn from, but the way we put that drive together, the way we stayed on schedule, it was great. And then even Oshag goes down, gets hurt, can't do anything about that, lose our last time out. For us to just keep our head in the game and really execute and put ourselves in the situation, get down there. Really, I guess we spiked the ball, 15 seconds or so on the clock, and have an opportunity to get a last play off from the 2. I mean, that's all you can ask for. And just, we got to be better executing on the same page. And yeah.
You personally, what did that drive feel like? Walk me through it for you personally, emotionally, and as it's progressing. And especially, I know being out there, that run you had, I know you were pumped. What was the feeling for you there?
Man, I felt like we were really clicking on all cylinders today on offense. Obviously, every game there's going to be a few things that you want back. There's going to be some throws, some opportunities that you missed or whatever. But I really feel like offensively we played clean football today, and we took advantage of a lot of our opportunities. And at the end of the game, obviously get the ball with 140 or so with a timeout left. That's kind of just what you want. Obviously, it's nice to have that timeout, and you got enough time to where you don't have to rush too much. And really like the way we moved the ball all day. So we had a lot of confidence. Come off first play, hit Tavon on the sideline, 20-yard gain or so, get out of bounds, great start. And then from there, we just stayed on schedule. And then obviously had that run down the sideline. Part of me kind of wishes I would have tried to cut back and score. But in that situation, we don't have any timeouts left, just trying to get out of bounds. And I think there was 30 seconds or so left. So just trying to get out of bounds and give us a new set of downs from the 5. Felt like that was a good situation to be in. So, obviously hindsight's 20/20, but I had a lot of confidence. I know the whole offense did. I mean, the guys up front today just protected great. I mean, I had all day. That's why, a lot of those I was sitting in there getting to my 3rd, 4th progressions, and we were hitting some big plays because just had so much time. So really got to, I guess, just talk up those guys because they played amazing. So it's disappointing. You walk in the locker room and so you're that close, literally 2 yards, and everybody left it out there. And it's a bad feeling, but I'm proud of these guys, the way we fought and had a chance to win. So we got to get better. Good teams win those games, and we got to get better.
Thank you, Mia. We'll go to Gary Smits, and we'll go to Mike DiRocco.
Hey, Trevor, I know the first touchdown wasn't the way you guys scripted it, but it had a good result. And I wondered, as a quarterback, how do you feel by seeing one of your big guys get a chance to score and spike the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel great about it when it's because I fumbled. But I told him, like, thanks for saving my butt there. I mean, obviously fumble on the 1-yard line, it's not what you want to do, but I was happy for Will. He was on field goal or the PAT team, so I had to take the ball over there to give it to one of our equipment managers to keep it for him. So it's always cool getting to see those guys score. It's just fun. At the end of the day, this is a game, and it's fun to see those guys enjoy it. But yeah, obviously you don't want to do it that way, but hey, we'll take it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. We'll go over to Mike DeRocco.
Hey, Trevor, those last two plays, the spike and then the fourth down play, it just seemed like was a little bit crazy and guys weren't really sure what the heck was going on. Is that an accurate read on that or no?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of different ways to handle that, between spiking it and trying to get another play real quick on the ball. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I was kind of with Shotty there, spike it and give us a chance to just think about what we really want to call, get us in a good situation. So I like that. And, and we're on the 2-yard line, one play from the 2. I mean, you can't ask for any closer than that. I mean, it could be on the 1, but I mean, we're right there. So that opportunity, we liked where we were at. And then I just think there on the last play, just formationally got a little bit confused. And then we also had a motion, so it made it hard. And then we got behind the play clock and tried to get everybody set. And then we had 2 guys in motion. I had to snap it because there was, it's fourth down. There's only, I think, 3 seconds when I started asking for the ball. And just like I said, it wasn't clean, for as clean as we played all day to have to just be that chaotic on the last play is just something we can't do. We fight, get ourselves back in the game and have a chance to go win it, and we got to go win it. So we got to clean that up.
In terms of protection and being able to stand in the pocket, was this the most time you've had all year? You seemed pretty darn comfortable today, maybe more so than the last couple of weeks.
I mean, I don't know, compared to all the games, it's tough to say, but like I said, the guys, they played great up front. You can't ask for anything more, hardly any pressures at all. I had a lot of time, and that was an emphasis I wanted to make this week too, was sitting in there, trusting those guys a little bit more instead of looking to scramble. So just sitting in there, trusting those guys, allowing myself to have an opportunity to make the plays downfield. And you saw we made a lot of them. We even left some out there that we got to hit, missed a couple throws. A couple guys go up, make the play. Like there's still more plays out there as well as we, or as many big plays as we hit. So that's a positive thing.
Thank you.
Thanks, D-Rock. We'll go to Gene Fournette, and then we'll go to Demetrius Harvey.
Actually, I'm good. My question was answered. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Gene. We'll go to Demetrius Harvey, and then we'll finish up with Brian Sexton. Brian, if you still have a question.
Hey, Trevor, you talked in the past about wanting to play more loose and having more confidence on offense as a whole. It seemed like today you were playing a lot more loose. Can you just go in what caused that and sort of how you felt out there?
Yeah, I felt really good. Just had a lot of confidence in our plan. I thought we had a great week of prep and really liked some of the stuff we had game planned. So, that's obviously part of it, but then just going out there and just playing, being the person that got me here and playing my game. And I think obviously besides some of the ball security issues, I got to clean that up. I thought I played a pretty clean game. So I was happy with it. Like I said, all the guys around me, everybody played well. Guys stepped up. Dare ended up having to play pretty much the whole game because of James, and just things like that get thrown at you, and just to see guys react well and Dare to play really well and just know everything. He did a great job. So no, I felt good though. I felt comfortable, felt confident, and just trying to carry that momentum to finish this season out. Obviously, didn't get the result we wanted today, but we still got 2 more games and just trying to finish strong.
Can you just talk about that? James Robinson going down, obviously that's brutal for him and you guys as a whole, but just the emotions of losing him and sort of what that means.
Yeah, it sucks. It's tough. James is, I really love James. Great guy, super hard worker. Just to kind of see him fight through these injuries this year, and every week besides the Buffalo game been available, even though he's fighting through some pain, and to see him go down like that, it's like, gosh, can't catch a break. That's just, hate it for him more so than for us. Obviously, we need him. He's a great player, but I just hate it for him, a guy that works that hard, and to go down with an injury like that, it's, very unfortunate. So praying for him for sure and support him any way we can.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, Demetrius. And then we'll finish up with Ben Sexton.
So Trevor, Bev talked about you guys being aggressive today. And was that a function of really having nothing to lose, or is that the way you guys wanted to play? And do you think maybe you cost yourselves by being too aggressive going for 2 points in the first half?
Like I said, hindsight's 20/20. If we go and get that 2-point conversion, that changes the game too. So I don't know. Obviously, when you don't get a 2-point conversion or you don't get 2 of them, it's easy to say after the game, oh, man, we should have just taken the points because, then we would have been down by a field goal. But you never know that in the situation. That's a tough call. And from the 1-yard line, you get a chance to go for 2 from the 1. It's pretty good odds, especially with our guys up front, the way they've been playing. Felt good about it. So obviously didn't get it. It's easy to say after the fact. But, yeah, but I think, us being aggressive was a part of the reason that we're so productive on offense as well. So, that kind of, that goes both ways.
Is that the way that you expect to play this game throughout the course of your career, to be aggressive at all times?
Obviously, you have to be smart. I wouldn't say at all times, but having those opportunities to make the plays downfield and taking those shots, like that's something you got to do in this league. And you see the best teams do it. They have a bunch of explosive plays. And I think situationally, besides those last 2 plays or the last play, situationally, we played really well today. Like I said, execute on the 2-minute drive. So, but yeah, I'd say being aggressive, that's a big part of this game, but you gotta be smart too.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. And thank you, Trevor.
Thank you, guys.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars at Houston, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Los Angeles. Taunt the other teams in Nashville, New York, and Boston. When you fly nonstop from Duval, on-airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. And economy lots are now open at just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com. Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues 26-21 Jets over the Jags in Week 16. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. It's time now for the Baptist Health Injury Report. Baptist Health changing healthcare for good, and this is a long list today. Dakota Allen with a shoulder issue late in the second quarter was questionable to return. The Jags linebacker Caleb Chason helped off the field in the fourth quarter. James O'Shaughnessy on the last drive of the game was injured. Not sure if he returned on that drive, but he was down on the ground. And, of course, James Robinson with an Achilles tear. He's done. Carted off, towel over his head. Just an awful scene for a guy who plays his heart out. And in his second season, undrafted rookie. Obviously, they've had some issues getting in the ball for whatever reason earlier in the season. And he tears his Achilles, so he's out.
Yeah, it's awful for James Robinson.
Yep.
James Robinson's a guy, JP, as you well know, undrafted, so he's not making the big bucks. Even though I think he got some of that
the bonus at the end,
right, where you outplay your the performance-based bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of NFL money, maybe one chance as a running back to set himself up for a big payday, or like a 3-year, $10+ million deal, something like that, and maybe he still will. Coming back. And I know that's not the most important thing here, we're about the Jaguars, but I feel bad for him personally. Who knows what position he's going to be in to help this team next year, to further his career. You're going to presumably have Travis Etienne in the mix. I feel like, this is just the worst footnote on a season of mismanagement when it comes to the way James Robinson was used. And primarily, I put that on the feet of the former head coach right now. He started last week. We saw he got 18 carries. I think he would have seen him get somewhere in the 18 to 20+ range today against a really bad Jets run defense, and who knows what he would have been able to do, and who knows what the outcome might have been had he been able to play and get those touches that Ogunbowale had today.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars radio network. Jaguars postgame continues. Final score, Jets 26, Jaguars 21. We're back in a moment. Final thoughts after Week 16. There are many. Not many good ones, unfortunately. And a losing result today. The seventh straight loss for the Jaguars for a 2-13 record. It's on to New England next week. Jaguars Game Day Radio is brought to you by ViStar Credit Union. Do good, bank better. And it's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
That sound is every driver's worst fear. How much will the repairs cost? Is it your engine, your transmission, or worse? A car breakdown could cost you thousands to repair, but not if you have CarShield. CarShield administrators pay your claims directly to the mechanic or dealer of your choice, saving you time and money. Call CarShield today before your next breakdown. Call 800-471-1223, 800-471-1223.
It's a force that can't be contained, propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect. When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it. You make power plays. You pick your team. At Farrah & Farrah, we deliver game day energy 24/7. Jacksonville.
Shopping Publix with delivery and curbside pickup powered by Instacart makes getting your groceries more convenient than ever. It's basically the best thing since sliced bread, which you can order from the Publix bakery. You can also get fresh meats and cheeses from the deli, delicious produce, and Publix premium ice cream, all without having to leave your couch or car. Orders are available in as little as 2 hours. Prices vary from in-store. Fees, tips, and taxes may apply. Subject to terms and availability. Visit Publix.com/shop. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 26-21 the final score. This week's defensive play of the game is presented by Kingfish Pest Control. Well, the Jags had the stop on the fake field goal in the third quarter. Well, you can argue, what are they doing? Just kick the field goal, but the Jags were there to stop it, went wide on it, and made the play, and at that point kept it within a 4-point game. Jags got a field goal off that play, so we'll go with that, the defensive play of the game, even though technically that's a special teams play. We'll give it to the defense. Kingfish Pest Control is a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Let the pros tackle the pests in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com.
Yeah, nice play there by Tyson Campbell coming up. Really solid tackle. And wanted to highlight the other one by Shaq Quarterman, all right, where they stopped the Jets at the 1-yard line, ultimately forced them to kick a field goal. I mean, that was one of those, the second he touched, I think it was Michael Carter with the ball, second he touched him, he never got another inch of forward progress. I mean, a beautiful, classic form tackle.
That was actually the drive they went for it on fourth and threw it to the lineman.
Oh,
on
was
the next
it?
play.
Okay.
So it was fourth and goal at the one, but still, it's a big
they were
time
down
play.
there so many times,
Yeah.
JP. I mean, honestly, right? It felt like they were snapping the ball from inside the Jags 5 like 50 times today, but you're right about that. That was the one.
But good play. Solid play. Shaq Quarterman getting some time today. Chappelle Russell getting time today. Miles Jack on the reserve COVID-19 list. One of a few starters down for the Jags today. Hey, next week the Jaguars head to Foxborough to face the New England Patriots. That's never an easy win. The Jags actually haven't won a road game in the last 16 road games, where no matter where they are, but certainly tough to play in New England.
Wow, 2 seasons worth of road games.
Yeesh.
That's what it is. And, that's the thing with New England is they're not going to beat themselves generally, right? So, you go up there, you make silly mistakes, and you can get embarrassed. I mean, right now they're in a bit of a slide themselves. They're not an explosive offensive team, but what they do had the ability to do right now is run the football pretty well. Damian Harris had a big day. Ramondre Stevenson was out, but if he's back next week, that's a pretty potent two-headed monster, 1-2 punch, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, prior to the last month, we weren't concerned about the Jags' run defense. It has been a slippery slope, going really back to the Atlanta game, right, when Cordero Patterson chewed him up with big chunks of yardage, and today, obviously, just is the low point.
Don't make me look up Mac Jones' rushing statistics in college. I don't need to be doing that
Brother,
next week.
If he's broken 20 yards in a game, I'd be shocked.
I would be too.
You know,
don't need to look at that.
I do think Zach Wilson would beat him in a foot race. I do. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I do think that would be the case.
I don't think I want to watch that. I'll be honest with you.
No.
I'll pass.
I think I might beat one of them. I'm not sure which one.
So there you have it. The final score again today, 26-21 Jets over the Jaguars. For those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll hear from NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks and take your calls until right around 6 o'clock tonight. Senior VP is Chad Johnson. VP of Production Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive Producer Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio Joe Fortunato. Tony Smith and Linda Fortunato are our producers. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, and Gabby Dalton produce the video for Jaguars.com. For Mike Dempsey and our entire crew, this is JP Shadrick saying good afternoon. Final score, Jets 26, Jaguars 21 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
It's time for the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks are ready for you to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, and by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Welcome into the Scoreboard Show. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351 after a Jaguars loss to the New York Jets in Week 16, 26-21 the final. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks joining us from Los Angeles. Close but no cigar, Bucky, this afternoon. What's up?
What's going on, man?
Hey,
real close.
Real close. Had the ball in the hands. The situation, we asked Bevell about it on that last drive, the running play. They felt like they had enough time to mix one in there, and then the spike on third down, and then couldn't get lined up on fourth.
Yeah, it was weird the way it played out at the end. The spike at the end, I understood it because what you're trying to do is you're trying to have a calm moment for a young team to get the play in, to make sure everyone is lined up and those things. But it appeared that it was just as chaotic as if you had just played it straight from the beginning. And so I knew it was a penalty from the jump because I was like, man, they don't act like they know what's going on. They didn't have a timeout. And really, in that moment, you probably would have been better served to take the delay of game, give yourself more field, to bring in maybe another passing concept that you eventually want to run. But look, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, Buck, and I mean, what in the world with the rush defense? And a lot of that is with Zach Wilson running the ball, but how do they allow that 52-yard run? How does Rudy Ford not put a hand on him and tap him out of bounds, and then he makes the rest of the Jags look like they're not even there? I mean, Andrew Wingard, I think, had a clean shot at him and didn't even lay a finger on him on that run. How does that happen with a guy who clearly is not anywhere near the most mobile quarterback in the league?
Yeah, but he's a pretty good athlete. Like, he's a big-time basketball player in high school. Like, he can move around and do those things. He just doesn't necessarily use it in that regard. And also, he's been a little bit of a different player since he hurt his knee early in the year. But he's a pretty athletic kid. I think there are a couple of things that happened. One, the first guy who had a shot at him, you're always leery on whether you should hit the quarterback or not, right? With all the rules and stuff during your play, you're trying to figure out, like, can I take the shot, or do I need to pull up and pull off? The rest of the guys, it looked like a combination of bad angles and a lack of athleticism. We've talked about the speed that the Jaguars need to have to be at a championship level, or even just at a very competitive playoff level. You saw on that play, not enough speed on defense to be able to run them down, because there's no way a quarterback should run for 52 yards and a touchdown unless he's Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray. Like, those guys shouldn't run away from 50. Zach Wilson should have run away from 50 yards.
Tough one today. The fourth most rushing yards, tied for the fourth most rushing yards allowed in Jaguars history today. And the New York Jets are now 4-11. The Jaguars fall to 2-13. 355 NFL won the number 355-6351. We're here for the next 45 minutes with your calls, and we are off and running. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
This season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for football watching. Just look for 20-ounce Pepsi products in the cooler door at your local Gate convenience store and see how you could win an exclusive VIP experience at the Jacksonville Zoo and an opportunity to eat lunch with a Jaguars player. Eat with a big cat. Courtesy of Pepsi and Gate. No purchase necessary. Visit jaguars.com/zoo for official rules and details. Ends 12/31/21.
How far should we go? When it comes to the health of children, we will stop at nothing, focusing on prevention as much as cures. Working with community leaders, educators, policymakers to make every child's world a place for them to thrive. Going to the nth degree and beyond. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine. Join the journey at nemours.org/beyond.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
Don't miss your chance, Jags fans. Our final home game of the regular season will be a fiery divisional matchup with the Indianapolis Colts. You won't want to miss a second of the action, so join the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field on January 9th for game day on the gridiron. To defend Duval and secure your seats today, visit us online at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you there.
It may be football season, but pests are in full force here in Jacksonville. That's why you need Kingfish Pest Control's $99 knockdown treatment. Kingfish Pest Control will safely eliminate spiders, ants, roaches, and more for just $99, backed by their 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned with thousands of A-plus customer reviews. They're hands down the best pest control company in Metro Jacksonville and a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks. After another Jaguars loss, 7 in a row now for the Jags to fall to 2-13. Final score today, 26-21. 355 NFL won the number. 355-6351. What you got?
All right, we got some new blood leading us off today. So let's go to the south side at 355 NFL 1. Shelton joins us here. First post-Christmas call. Shelton, you're on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, buddy.
Man, Happy New Year to you guys. How y'all doing?
Excellent, man.
Hanging
How
in,
are you?
Hanging in.
Awesome, man. You know, I kind of got exactly what I expected to do. I didn't have many expectations as far as them winning the game. I just wanted to see if Trevor would play better, and he kind of proved today that if he's given time, he can make the right reads and the right throws. The only thing that I wish he'd have done if he just would have, on that last run of the game, if he'd have just put his shoulder down, put a move on that guy, and went for the touchdown instead of stepping out of bounds. I understand that if he got tackled in the middle of play with no time on the clock, we lose the game. But at least you got to go for it at that point. What you guys think about that?
What do you say, Buck?
You know, it's funny because I did think about it when he went on that long scramble. It was a one-on-one situation.
Yep.
And I don't know if the defender would expect him to make a quick cut to kind of slide inside. And there was so much time on the clock that they would have had enough time to do it. But at the end of the day, I think he's thinking the right thing. Get as much as I can, get out of bounds. But he had a chance at the end of that scramble maybe to kind of slide in there and get the score. But, I mean, you nitpicking. They had 4 downs from inside the 5. They got to find a way to punch it in. I think that's kind of been the theme. When you get down there, you got to have a handful of plays, and you got to have players that can make those plays to make sure you turn those opportunities into 7 points.
Yeah, I think if they had a timeout, like I think he knew in his head they didn't have any timeouts. He's looking to get out of bounds. I think if they had one, he might have tried to take him on or try to make that move. I think Bucky he might have been able to get away with just lowering his shoulder there because I don't think the defensive back would have expected it. But, you know, if the season was on the line, he probably would have tried something like that. You know, I don't think we want him getting reckless.
No, because, look, you got to remember, he had already gotten hit earlier down at the goal line and coughed it up. And so it's already one of those things where, man, I hate to feel like I'm treating him like he's a glass slipper, but I don't want him to crack and crumble. I don't want him to necessarily get banged up going into the offseason. So I understand it. He did what he can. Got out of bounds. They had an opportunity to win it, and they just didn't get it done.
All right, Shelton, thank you. Let's head out to the west side. Lance is up next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Lance.
Hello, Lance. Lance, you're on the air. Hey, Lance, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this has got to be the best game that Trevor Lawrence has ever played, and he was inspired by something.
You think so, huh? What was the best part of the day for him, for you? What do you think? Lance.
Yeah.
What do you think? What was the best part of the day for Trevor today?
I think just all over the game or something like that. I know, he didn't throw any touchdown passes, but there's all kinds of reasons, in football, because, blocking, running, tackling, and I know his was, he got to throw the ball a whole lot more than he usually does.
Right. So,
even though he didn't make a touchdown pass, there's still a basic thing to get down in the position where somebody can.
Yeah, no doubt. And guys got to make plays around him too. Thank you for the call. Appreciate that. He didn't have any touchdown passes today, and it's the big storyline is going to be 1 touchdown pass now in the last 8 games, including today for him. But it did feel, Bucky, at moments a better offense as a whole today. I'm being very careful there, but what do you think overall of the offensive plan today?
Why are you being so careful? It was a much better plan. It was a much better feel. Now, some of that could have been the opponent, but it did feel like a Jaguars offense that you could be excited about. Like they scored in the first 3 drives.
21 points. That's why I'm being careful. 21 points.
21 points, but considering what it looked like, geez, it actually looked like an NFL offense today. They moved the ball. They had chances. Look, I thought Trevor played really well. I think the last drive was a good thing to see because you like to see in those moments how young quarterbacks respond. He did a good job, put him right on the doorstep. They just couldn't punch it in. And so I think there are things that you can certainly look at the tape and build off of and get encouraged by and all of those things. What makes this tough is the next 2 weeks are going to be difficult. The Patriots are going to pose a different challenge with the way they go about playing defense and that stuff. And then the Indianapolis Colts have one of the best defenses that we can find. And so the next 2 weeks could be tough. But I feel like this is a good one because it had been a long time since we've been able to kind of point to Trevor Lawrence and say, oh, okay, that's it. That's why he's number 1 overall. Like we like the stuff that he was doing off the field, right? The leadership stuff. But we need to see some of that stuff on the field. And today we got a chance to see some of that stuff.
And I'll say, Lance, Merry Christmas to you. Final score today, 26-21. We're back in a moment. More of your calls, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Are you tired of not seeing clearly? As the official eye care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Florida Eye Specialists offers the safest, most effective technology to regain control of your sight. With 9 locations across Northeast Florida, our dedicated doctors have provided premier eye care to the community for more than 20 years. Call 904-564-2020 or visit FloridaEyeSpecialists.com to book an appointment with Jacksonville's most trusted eye care providers today.
It's not kickoff without the small places that make Jaguars game day big. That's why Crown Royal is turning game day into giving day by supporting communities that serve us off the field. Nominate a local community hero to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience at jaguars.com/Crown Royal promotion. Because Crown Royal believes if you live generously, life will treat you royally. Visit crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Shopping Publix with delivery and curbside pickup powered by Instacart makes getting your groceries more convenient than ever. It's basically the best thing since sliced bread, which you can order from the Publix bakery. You can also get fresh meats and cheeses from the deli, delicious produce, and Publix premium ice cream, all without having to leave your couch or car. Orders are available in as little as 2 hours. Prices vary from in-store. Fees, tips, and taxes may apply. Subject to terms and availability. Visit Publix.com/shop. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
It's a fact. All cars will eventually break down. If you have CarShield, you can protect yourself from the high cost of auto repairs. And they're America's #1 auto protection company. Your transmission, engine, and car's computer system are all covered. Get the ultimate vehicle service protection. Call CarShield now at 800-471-1223. That's 800-471-1223.
Roof Claim is a proud supporter of professional football and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They built their company on an idea that homeowners deserve to be winners. When a home is damaged by severe weather, Roof Claim can identify the damage, work with your insurance company, and help you professionally replace your roof. At Roof Claim, they make protection simple. Visit their website at roofclaim.com to schedule your free drone or in-person inspection.
Welcome back. It's the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and your calls. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. Recapping a 26-21 loss for the Jaguars to the New York Jets.
Yes, sir. Let's go back out to the lines. Our man John in Callahan is next up. What's up, John?
Well, gentlemen, I tell you, right now, I think our special teams are costing us games. I think they cost us games in the beginning of the year. So what do we do about this, Becky? I mean, the offense seems to be playing well, with exception of drop passes. The defense, well, they're not doing so well because they lost Miles Jack to COVID, so we didn't get the run stuffing. What can we do next week? I mean, I feel for this team because they're working their butt off, but they're not getting any yardage, so to speak. And I'll leave it to you guys.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, John, look, it's not a question about the team's effort. They don't need to play harder. They need to play smarter. And in special teams, it's been an issue the entire season, particularly of late. They just have given up big return after big return. They're not dialed in with the details. They don't appear to kind of, especially like you have so many new guys jumping in and playing. And sometimes when you have COVID situations, what happens is everyone bumps up. The backups go to being starters. So then your practice squad guys have to then go on to the special teams. And some of those guys have never done it. And so they're kind of getting a baptism by fire. And you're seeing some of the issues. But it's one of those things where, I mean, we're at the end of the season. You cannot have 103-yard kick returns. You can't have other returns, flip the field and do those things. You can't have the issues that they've had. It's been bad. And what's disappointing is it was expected to be a strength of the squad because there was such an emphasis based on what the previous coach had talked about in the offseason and all those things, and special teams being important. They just simply haven't lived up to what the expectation has been.
No doubt about it. We continue along here, 355 NFL 1. Kyrie in Norfolk, Virginia up next. Hello, Kyrie.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
We're well. How are you?
Oh, good.
Good. Well, I'll first say I can't completely blame the special teams. They do have one of the worst as far as, like, yardage, kicking. And Matthews, that guy should not be kicking off anymore. He gives them opportunity after opportunity to be able to run it out there. I can't blame – I mean, you can blame them, but you can't. Second, next week, Andre Cisco better be starting, or it's a problem for me. My opinion. The guy was around there flying around the field with little opportunities that he had, and he was making plays. And he needs to be on the field. Second and last but not least, Trevor Lawrence, listen, I get it. Had a good game, but honestly, it's okay. It was all right. Geno Smith could torch a bad defense. Actually, he did against us in Week 7. What I was looking for from Trevor Lawrence, he missed a big throw. It was a touchdown. Tavon Austin was wide open, leading down the seam. Trevor overthrew him, and he hesitated on the throw. That was concerning to me. And then, again, this game was not about lack of talent. It wasn't about running game. This wasn't even about blocking. The game was set. I was waiting. I knew it. I said, please don't let them score this touchdown so Trevor can go down and try to get it done. The game was set. It was on a silver platter. He didn't get it done. Some things you can't teach. So the jury is out for me on Trevor Lawrence now, man. Do you have that clutch gene? Can you get it done? That's one thing Geno Smith can't do. He can torch a team, but when it's time to win the game, he can't get it done. Can't you do that, Trevor? I'm asking. And I'll take you guys' comments off the air.
Yeah, thanks for the call. By the way, Cisco started. We'll find out overnight when they update the official box how many snaps and the percentage of snaps. They do that overnight and then tomorrow morning. But Cisco did start the game officially.
Yeah, and Daniel Thomas was in at least some of the time.
That's right.
Bucky, what do you make of all that?
First thing I'll say this. Andre Cisco should be on the field. He should have been on the field a long time ago. He comes from Syracuse with a reputation for making plays on a defense where you're sorely lacking playmakers in the middle of the field. Andre Cisco should be playing. Like that, we can put that to bed. The whole thing about Trevor Lawrence and the rookie deal, here's what I'll say. I don't know of any rookie that is lighting it up. None of the rookies that are in Trevor's class are lighting it up statistically. None of those rookies have been tasked with like making big time plays to carry their offense, because all the rookies that we have, whether it's Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, who we saw today, who only had 102 yards, Trevor, Mac Jones, who has been struggling, who had been propped up by a team that is really, really solid and good. None of those guys have take over the game potential or that stuff yet. And so we have to exhibit a little patience when it comes to Trevor Lawrence, because the franchise has not been a winning franchise for a while. There are not a lot of weapons around him. I think he flashes in time. And look, time will tell if he's going to be big time. But I certainly wouldn't throw in the towel on Trevor Lawrence based on taking to the 1 yard line and coming up short at the end of this game against the Jets.
All right, thank you, Kyrie. Appreciate it.
Jury's out, he said. I mean, he's still.
I think the jury is out.
Oh yeah, but
I mean, I don't. If you say the jury's come in, then they've got a verdict.
Well, I get that,
and I don't think there's a verdict either way right now. I mean, I don't look. I think most of us here, JP, I'm going to speak for you, feel that Trevor's future is still incredibly bright. I'm certainly in that camp.
Yeah.
Get him some weapons, get him some playmaker. He did miss some throws, though, Bucky. Not only the one to Austin that he's talking about. I thought he had Marvin Jones on that one in the end zone, and I forget if Jones was a little bit held up on that play, but he threw that on the right side of the end zone. I don't know if Jones could have got to that ball no matter if anybody touched him or not. So he continues to miss a few throws, but I thought overall, if you just look, you take the rushing numbers out, and that's a factor, but he vastly outpassed Zach Wilson today. I mean, it wasn't even close, So anyway.
Yeah, no, I will say this about him. Like, going back and watching him in Clemson, I think here's the thing, and I guess I would contribute to that, like doing what I do in the role. What has happened is, like, Trevor Lawrence was built up during the draft process to be the next coming. right? With the comparisons to John Elway and Andrew Luck or whatever, like the expectation was that he was a flawless prospect, and he's not. If you go back and look at Clemson, he routinely missed throws. He had some stuff in his game where he's not going to be like 100% dialed in and accurate. What you're betting on with Trevor Lawrence is he's an A-plus athlete. He has, I would say, A-plus arm talent in terms of being able to make all the throws, but it's really the intangibles and the leadership quality. That said, no quarterback can operate in a vacuum without weapons around him. We've talked about this numerous times on the show. He doesn't have a top 50 receiver on the team. He really doesn't have someone beyond a number 3 receiver in a competitive championship level squad. So we won't really be able to make a true assessment on what he is until they get those kinds of weapons around him. And then we can say, okay, you have everything. Now let's see what it looks like.
All right, let's get one more here before the break. Justin in Orlando is up next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Justin.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Good. What's up?
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' take. I mean, obviously, it's been a crappy season headed towards draft time, which we're all familiar with. But I just wanted to get your guys' take on. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of holes to fill on this roster, and if we do indeed end up landing on that number 1 pick, if there's any value in potentially trading back just to gain some draft assets. So I'll take you guys off there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Bucky, I think there's tremendous value in that this year if you can find the team that wants to come up and acquire that number 1 pick, and what they're willing to pay is going to be the big question.
I think the hardest thing to do is to turn picks into players. And so a large part of it is like, yeah, you can get more lottery tickets and those things, but at the end of the day, you have to pick the right guys. The Jaguars got multiple picks for the Jalen Ramsey thing, and I don't know if we would say that, oh, in return for Jalen Ramsey, we got back what we wanted, which was an upgrade on talent and those things. And so when you're sitting at the number 1 pick and you have the board for you, I am more in the camp of, no, take the best player, don't get cute, don't mess around and say, oh, I'm going to have 4 and 5 picks and do all this other stuff. Just take great players. And so when you're sitting number 1, you not only have the number 1 pick of the first round, but you got it at the second round and every other round. And so I think you just sit and pick and take great players. And then later on, if you want to spend some of those off, but I wouldn't trade the number 1 pick. And it's going to be harder to trade the number 1 pick because there's not a quarterback that is worthy of being the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, but that you hit it right. Like, you still have to make the right choice with the number 1 pick, right? At least if you have multiple picks, like they got the Ramsey, if they had just taken Justin Jefferson with that first rounder, we'd be saying, hey, this is fantastic. They would have had the 9th pick in last year's draft and another 4th rounder on top of that. They've just made horrible decisions when it comes to the draft process. So I think they got everything you could possibly have hoped to get in return for Jalen Ramsey. But you're right that the other part of the equation is then exercising those picks wisely, and that's something they certainly haven't done for most of the last 10 years or so, quite frankly. Justin, we appreciate the call. JP, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We've got a couple segments left.
JP was like,
we're gonna pay some bills.
Like, I felt like we were being very nice when it came to that. But that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is you got to pick the right players, and so that's what it comes down to.
No doubt. And you're right. A decade, I'd say longer than that.
Yeah, maybe. I just throwing a nice round figure at you.
Yeah, at least a decade. All right, so Scoreboard Show continues, 355 NFL1. We're here until 6 o'clock tonight after a Jaguars loss. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
Great teams leave it all on the field. But with the powerful towing and payload that Ford F-150 delivers, you can take it all with you, too. No wonder Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck 44 years straight. The 2021 Ford F-150, built for greatness. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Don't miss your chance, Jags fans. Our final home game of the regular season will be a fiery divisional matchup with the Indianapolis Colts. You won't want to miss a second of the action, so join the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field on January 9th for game day on the gridiron. To defend Duval and secure your seats today, visit us online at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you there.
It's a force that can't be contained, propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect. When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it. You make power plays. You pick your team. At Farrah & Farrah, we deliver game day energy 24/7. Jacksonville.
Fans like you have been told that going all out is going too far. But fans like you know better. You're the kind of fan who loves the team as much as your pet, who paints yourself for game days and dyes your pet's fur to match. You are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and diehard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. The official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks. The Scoreboard Show continues. The phone lines are lit up, Mike. Lit up.
Oh, like a Christmas tree. It's almost like it's a holiday, JP. So let's go to the west side.
Let's.
And welcome Holiday to the Scoreboard Show. Holiday, what's up?
Man, let me tell you one thing. I'm sitting in the back porch drinking on me some Hennessy and Coca-Cola. And I want everyone to know, get out your feelings, because first of all we doing is having a trial for next year to find all the pieces that we're gonna keep. Right now, the whole football world is in a COVID football league. So may the best survivor team win the Super Bowl with the least amount of COVID players that is important to the team playing. As for the saber-toothed tiger, T-Law, Trevor, look, man, Trevor, I am so proud of Trevor to play with no weapons. Look, it don't even matter about wins or losses right now. We got two players that we know, Cisco and my boy on camera. Okay, we got chances with them. All we got to do is get our administration, Sean Carr, to do the right thing. And I'm telling you right now, next year, with a smart GM, smart head coach, a good defensive coach, a good special team coach, the things that we need, Bucky is right. JP, Mike, all y'all are right. We see it. This ain't about no win or loss right now. It's about getting ready for next year.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate that. That's a long list, Bucky, by the way.
It was a long list, and I don't know if you can knock it out of the park with everything. Like, hopefully you get the head coach right, then whatever happens after that, luck is kind of gravy. I do believe it is the evaluation season. It's about trying to figure out what you have. You have two more games. These two games, in essence, are like preseason games. The young guys have to get off the bench. They have to play. Like, you have to play them. You need to see what's going on. And that's tough, for a coaching staff where the majority of the coaches will not be around next year, to then play guys that they may not feel are ready, but you have to do it because you have to see it. You have to see where they are, because it will help you make determinations on who you pick in those later rounds, in the third, fourth, fifth round. When you're getting those developmental players, you want to know, where do we need to kind of earmark more draft picks to kind of build up different areas of the team. With Trevor, we've talked about it. Like, there has to be number one priority to make sure in the offseason during free agency that you beef up the offensive line. more playmakers, pass catchers. You need an A1 tight end. You need 2 wide receivers at a minimum. One can be a free agent. The other has to be a top draft pick. But there are things that you have to do to give him a chance. And the most important part is when you're looking at the head coach, if it's not a head coach who's also an offensive play caller, whatever, what system are you putting him in that will allow him to grow? Because Trevor Lawrence needs to grow and needs to be in a system that allows him to play at a good level, at a high level, before he's really ready to pop and become a star in this league. And that is a reasonable expectation. And that's why it's going to be so important that whoever the head coach is, the guy who is building the infrastructure around Trevor Lawrence as the play caller, he's the second most important guy in the building.
All right, thank you, Holiday. And we head up to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Adam is next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Adam.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello, good evening.
All right. So I was at the game today. I'm driving on my way home, and I'm sitting and I'm thinking, man, how close did we get? But that's not even really the first time we've been close. I mean, it's happened a couple of times this year that in our 2-minute drills, something has always gone wrong in these high, intense pressure situations with Trevor Lawrence. And I'm just wondering, do you guys think it's just because the team is bad around him? Is it something that he has an issue with? Is it something that's going to improve? And I'll take your answer off the air and have a premature Happy New Year's, gentlemen.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Bucky?
No, I mean, I think that's a good question. I think it's a good observation. It's one of those things where Trevor Lawrence has always been a winner all of his life, going all the way back to high school. The one thing that we could probably dig back into is how many close games did he have to really play in during his time in high school and then at Clemson? Because some of the things that you have to do in terms of being able to deliver these fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives, they're learned things that you go through with experience. The experience brings a level of expertise, understanding how to navigate and run a 2-minute drill at every level, understanding how to maintain your poise and your calm under pressure. And so you can kind of play that game out where even though it's chaotic, you're kind of playing the game as if it's slow motion. And so as he gets more of these opportunities to do it, the better he will become at it. He'll have a better understanding of, do I need to clock? What's the score? What's the time? Do I need to clock this, or can we get another play out? That stuff comes from time. When you watch Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and all those guys play and kind of execute it where it seems like they're just kind of like skipping along, a lot of it is because they've done it over and over again. They know what they can do. They know how much time, how many plays are left in the game based on the number of seconds on the clock and all that. That just comes from experience. And I think some of that stuff can be accelerated a little bit in practice, but a lot of it is, man, you have to play the games. And so he only can become an expert by getting more experience, and hopefully he'll get more experience in the coming years, and he'll be good at being able to close off these games.
All right, let's get one more in before we hit the break. Saqib is next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Saqib.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, I'm just really frustrated that we drove all the way down the field, and the plays that we do. Can you explain to me, because obviously I'm not a coach. I've never done anything like that. Why do you spike the ball on the third down? You took up about 10, 11 seconds. Use your plays and see if you can do. Can you explain to me the scenario why they would snap the ball? And he even said he didn't even know that we caught the ball on that. The coaching on this team is horrendous, and I want every single person fired, like I said to you guys last week. Can you explain to me on that why they spike the ball? I'm confused on that play.
Thanks, Saqib.
Man, Saqib wants everyone fired. Like it's the holiday season. We just had Christmas. I think here's what happens. You're looking at the clock, and Marvin Jones makes the catch. The officials are scrambling to get the ball. Marvin Jones brings it over to the center, gets it to him. They get a spot. They're looking up at the clock, and what you're trying to figure out, do we have an automatic play call up where we can fire one up to Laquan Treadwell or get it out where, look, it's either going to be a quick completion or an incompletion, the clock is going to stop. But it didn't appear that was something that they kind of had in the bag. And so rather than kind of chance and then mess it all the way up, they spiked it. And then the thought would be, hey, everyone take a deep breath. Let's get the play call in that we want to play, that we want to have for the game winner, and let's go make the play. Somewhere in that, the play clock got away from everybody, because I'm trying to figure out why we were scrambling so much at the end and why Trevor was down to 2 seconds when he was trying to get everyone lined up. It just seemed like a mismanagement of the clock, but that is something that's been consistent with what we've seen throughout the season. This team has not played great when it came to managing situations and understanding time, score, situation.
Yeah, you can debate the spike all you want. It's what happened after that.
That's right.
Really the
They still had
the
to
bad
play.
part.
Still had to play. Let's take our final time out. We'll come back. Our final thoughts. If you don't get in here, fifth quarter coming up. Leon Searcy and Hacker are coming up at 6 o'clock. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com. This season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for football watching. Just look for 20-ounce Pepsi products in the cooler door at your local Gate convenience store and see how you could win an exclusive VIP experience at the Jacksonville Zoo and an opportunity to eat lunch with a Jaguars player. Eat with a big cat. Courtesy of Pepsi and Gate. No purchase necessary. Visit jaguars.com/zoo for official rules and details. Ends 12/31/21.
Committed to the team, committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
When it comes to LASIK, your eyes deserve the very best. And that's why more people choose Meta Custom Vision at Florida Eye Specialist. Just ask Andrea Michael.
The surgery itself was a breeze. During the actual procedure, there were no surprises. I felt relaxed and confident in the doctor and staff. Traditionally, I am not a wildly emotional person, but the day after surgery, I was able to see beautifully. And I was noticing and seeing things that I had never even noticed before. The detail was just astounding to me. And I even teared up a little because it was just life-changing that this was my vision now. This is the way I could see without worrying about contacts, without worrying about glasses. I had perfect vision for the first time in over 25 years. And it was a really cool feeling.
Meta Custom Vision at Florida Eye Specialist has the finest, most up-to-date LASIK equipment. Call today, 268-EYES. That's 268-EYES. Find out more at metalaser.com, the official eye care partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Final few minutes of the Scoreboard Show. We're here until 6 o'clock. If you didn't get in here, well, we'll be back around next week. The fifth quarter is coming up at the top of the hour as well. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks recapping a 26-21 loss to the New York Jets. We still have some callers. What do you got?
We got one, and we'll go out to Denver, Colorado. Tunde has become a regular here on the Scoreboard Show. Tunde, hello, how are you?
Man, I'm blessed. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Hanging in there.
Man, I hear you. First and foremost, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Happy New Year in advance. And shout out to the real MVP, Linda.
You got it. She's now named. The woman on the phone has a name.
Yes, she does.
Linda.
Yes. She's very nice.
Correctamundo.
Yes.
Shout out to Linda. I just wanted to tap in on kind of the offense. I think it was really nice to see the offense be able to move the ball to some degree today. We obviously saw Trevor make several of those high-level throws that we want to see, which is great. But just going to what you guys are saying about the system, the best part about having an established system is that everybody knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like down at that goal line at the end of the game, maybe we don't have to spike it there if everybody knows, okay, our number one play is this, our number two play is that. And maybe that's different. I'm cool with the spike, but that fourth down play where that confusion came in, we blew the entire play clock. That does not happen when you have an established system. Hopefully, if we're going to make a change, we do it early so we can get 2 or 3 years under Trevor's belt in the same system going forward. But hopefully we just get a good system and get things going. I think he's still the guy. I look forward to the future. I'll take the response up there.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. By the way, that's the way to get on the show is to talk nice about Linda.
Absolutely. Everyone should talk nice about Linda, though. You'd like to see on that play, on that third down, at least I'd like to see like what Dan Marino used to do with the fake spike play. You know what I mean? Like give a look to Laquan Treadwell. Now, they haven't played together long enough to have that natural chemistry, but he was literally one-on-one, and he is bigger than every defensive back on that roster. So you'd love to look at him, fake the spike, and just lob one up to him, see if he can come down with it to win the football game. But obviously, Buck, that did not play out that way.
All right, Bucky is.
Think he may have come to the end.
Okay, no. I couldn't hear you guys. You were kind of coming in and out, so I heard a little bit about the thing. So repeat it.
Oh, we're just talking about the third down.
The fake spike. Yeah,
could they have gone with a fake spike play, something like that?
Yeah, I thought what he brought up is really good. When you do have a system and things that you've worked on, these are the things that should be worked on from the time you get to, off-season workouts, training camp. Like you going through 2-minute drills, you having these situations and circumstances, and you do it so much that you have a natural set of plays. You typically have the same 5 to 6 core plays that you're running in these situations, and you do have a fake spike play or something like that you have in your bag that you can pat your helmet and go to in those situations. And so, to me, we've talked about it. The team wasn't very tight in detail when it came to understanding those situations, and there's more work that needs to be done on that. And so when you get a new coach in there, he certainly will see the flaws that kind of came up repeatedly in games. And I think it has to be one of the things on the priority list to kind of clean up for this team, because there have been a lot of games, not necessarily games that could have been won, but with better attention to detail when it comes to situational football, this team could have been in more games, and maybe you snatch a few more wins because you're not losing games by messing up in those critical moments.
All right, thanks for all the calls tonight at 355-NFL-1. That'll do it for the calls this evening. The fifth quarter coming up. Hey, next week, Bucky, the Jaguars head to Foxborough to face the New England Patriots.
Next year.
Yeah, Mighty Mac Jones. We get a chance to see Mac Jones up close and personal. We've heard so much about him, and everyone is, talking about his greatness. So now we get a chance to see what it looks like. It didn't look great today, but we'll see what it looks like next week.
I was telling Mike earlier, if I'm having to look up Mac Jones rushing all-time statistics, it's a bad day at the office next week. Don't need that.
No, I definitely don't need that. I certainly don't want to see Mac Jones scooting down the field for 50-plus yards and a score. So hopefully we'll work on that part of the defense this week.
Bucky, we'll talk to you this week, and have a good one.
Hey, man, you guys be good. Have a good one.
Bucky Brooks, NFL Network analyst. Jaguars today, coming up
tomorrow, and all week long.
All week long.
Yep. 4 days. We won't be on next Friday because it's New Year's Eve.
And it's the Gator Bowl on 1010XL.
Well, there you go. Yeah. That's an even better reason. I believe somebody pretty good calling that game.
I don't know. I don't know who that could be.
It's you.
Oh, yeah. It's an 11 o'clock kick.
Are you setting up on your Rutgers?
I will start tonight, yes.
Situation.
Yes, it's going to be quite a grind.
Spring that one on you? Had you put in 10 days straight of Texas A&M
I'd already kind of done the A&M stuff, yes. But, hey, that's part of it. It's okay.
You're a tough guy.
Hey, we got, of course, Jaguars Happy Hour in the afternoon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Jags Drive Time, Monday and Wednesday morning on Jaguars.com. And, of course, the Coaches Show, Tuesday afternoon, 5 o'clock. We'll hear from Daryl Bevell again. So,
Jaguars today, 10 to noon.
10 to noon,
Monday through
Thursday.
Yep.
Happy New Year.
Likewise, brother.
The lady on the phone is Linda Fortunato. Joe Fortunato's on the audio. Gabby Dalton's on the video side. For Mike Dempsey and Bucky Brooks, I'm JP Shadrick. We'll catch you next time. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.